So we're here with Taryn Bird with the Business Civic Leadership Center of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Now, the BCLC's mission is to promote better business and society relations and improve long-term social and economic conditions. And today we'd like to focus on some specifics related to that mission. So Taryn, I understand that one of the roles that the BCLC plays is in helping to bring organizations together and then discover what works best. So what can you tell us about that?
So one of the platforms of the Business Civic Leadership Center is best practice sharing. And it's really important both for companies who are working in the sector and NGO partners in the public sector to understand what has worked and what hasn't worked so that we're not making the same mistakes. And one of the partnerships that we highlighted this year was through a series that we're doing called the Global Corporate Citizenship Issue Series, where we look at how companies are contributing in partnership to the water sector, food security, economic development, and then also health. And through our food security forum, we had the chance to sit down with Cargill and Care and really examine how their food security initiatives are changing the lives of individuals in sub-Saharan Africa and how they're empowering local farmers to improve their crop yield, to increase their entrepreneurship values, and also from a microenterprise level, providing them with the capital that they need to invest in both product, know-how, and knowledge, and provide that education so that they're able to further their specific initiatives.
And this is at the base level in sub-Saharan Africa. This is not something coming out of Washington, D.C., for example?
No, you're looking at care field workers, you're looking at also, but what I talked about earlier, that technical expertise, the Cargill employees, how they're able to play into this and provide what they do as a business to help further the social programs and the programming of care, and they do this in partnership. It's a really great partnership and very integrated, where they're both able to come to the table with a core skill that's both furthering their work in the food security area.
Well, tell us about a specific partnership related to healthcare.
So among the companies that BCLC works with, we work with companies that are very engaged in healthcare initiatives, whether that be through GlaxoSmithKline or Abbott Laboratories. But one company that's really ramped up their work in the healthcare sector, specifically in Angola, is Chevron.
Chevron, the oil company, is in the healthcare sector?
Yes. And they have invested much of their funds and also partnered with the Business Coalition Against HIV/AIDS and Malaria on educating their employees about the ramifications of the disease, of being infected with the disease, and treatment, and the importance of keeping your family educated about what that means and what your realistic life can be after finding out that you have the disease. And so it's an area where you wouldn't think that they would be engaged. It's not in their core competency. It's not traditionally where you would think an oil company would engage in this kind of work, and they've done so pretty extensively. So
is it working?
I would say, I think you'd have to ask them. My perspective, yes. They've started with a more small skill set in terms of their employees, their direct employees, and hopefully that will grow from there.
Okay, a little bit about the business core concept. How does that work?
So Business Core, what BCLC, as I explained earlier, we've developed a platform to engage more companies in international volunteering. And it's in pilot stage right now, where we're looking at how companies can stay engaged longer term in Haiti. As many of us saw, the corporate contributions to the response in Haiti was about $148 million just for the emergency response. And many companies are investing much more capital, technical expertise, and know-how following the January 12th earthquake. And so what we're doing as an organization is to be able to provide them with the platform to engage. And we have different skill sets from engineering companies, from retail firms, from pharmaceutical companies that are able to come to the table and provide a skill set that's needed by NGOs that are working in country. And so what we've done is we're providing a platform for them to engage either on a micro level or a macro level, how much they would like to get their employees engaged in country with an NGO that has a need.
Well, what are some of the things that they're doing, and who's doing it?
So one of the first projects that we've been working on is with an NGO called CHF International.
What do they do?
They're traditionally an NGO that works that's worked in Haiti for about 20 years and have focused on shelter. That's really their core competency as an NGO. What they've done is they've been also able to expand their services and what they're working on and have expanded it into the retail sector. And they've reopened what's called the Haiti Apparel Center, where individuals are able to come and to learn how to actually use some of the machinery that's used in a retail factory, so that they can come to the Haiti Apparel Center, learn how to use the sewing machine, and leave and be able to get placed in a job. And actually, job placement leaving the Haiti Apparel Center is about 95%. So it's pretty high that when an individual goes through this program, they're then directly employed in a local facility. And so with the reopening and kind of the rebranding of this center, there's also a lot of skills that are needed and lacking. And what we've been able to do is identify those needs, such as a financial reporting, such as documentation, such as providing health care to the individuals that are going through the program. And right now we're in the process of finding where that corporate skill set can come in and fill those needs.
Well, this leads perfectly into the mapping project that the Global Citizenship Program is undertaking. Tell us about that.
As an organization, one of the key components of what we provide both to our corporate members but also to communities who are interested in learning more about what the private sector is doing in international development is providing them with an update and reports on where these programs are, how they're going about them, who their partners are. But in the past, it hasn't all been able to be viewed on one screen. So you're having to go to all of these different stories and read them and take some pretty substantial amount of time to really understand where these programs are. And so what we've been doing through the Global Corporate Citizenship Program is looking at how we can put all of this on one screen so that you're able to go to a map and you're able to click on Brazil and see which companies are working in food security initiatives, which companies are working in education, and how they're doing it, so that we're able to take these best practices or even failures and learn from them as an organization, as a community, so that we're not repeating the same mistakes. And we're able to take the best practices, and if a food security initiative worked in a certain part of the country with a tech firm, maybe some of those best practices and those skill sets would be applicable to a food security initiative anywhere else in the world.
So as we sit here in New York in September of 2010, not too far from the UN, can you say that the mapping project is underway yet? Can I access it?
You cannot access it yet. We are looking for a rollout actually with a pilot in January to be able to have a functional map that you'd be able to access and then to build from there.
Companies, NGOs, and communities can all contribute to this?
Right now we're looking at just mapping the private sector, but the interesting part about that is you can't map the private sector without mapping the NGO community or the public sector because they're their partners. And so what will be available and what we're hoping to debut early next year is a pilot program where individuals will be able to come to the map, click on a certain country, and learn about how these partnership programs are really working.
Well, Taryn, thank you very much. We're looking forward to the next great stuff out of the Global Citizenship Program at the Business Civic Leadership Center.
Thank you very much.